Okay, let's do this. So, this is basically something I wanted to do. Hello, good morning, Anne. So, basically this is something I showed a sneak peek of yesterday, which was this onsite.dev website, which basically clusters issues into different groups based on the similarity. Which it does by calculating an set of embeddings for each issue and then comparing those. So I want to make this more generic. Instead of a hard-coded list of repositories, I want to make it possible to install this on a Git repo. And so I want to basically have a little button that's going to, oh hi, thank you, that's going to basically install the app on the homepage. And then I think we need to handle this. Yes, that would be interesting, Sean. Okay, I'll hard code it in. Before I actually get into that, so here's our current allowed repos state. Where do I have it? Here, I think the allowed repos. So what is calcom? Calcom, and it must be cal.com. That one. So let's pop that one in, and let's see what happens. And we have. We could also attach some other similar issues. So we could say, hey, index also. Hey, Mehmet, nice to see you. We could also index some like your docs or something like that. But for now, let's try. And then the first time I hit this endpoint, it's going to have to download all your issues and generate embeddings for them. So it might take a little while. That's also why I want to make it a GitHub app, because that's going to make that experience much more smooth. So what's going on in the background? It's fetching batches of issues. Actually, I didn't realize this console log was still here, but yeah. Which I guess it's going to have a batch of 8 batches. And first it's going to fetch them all, and then it's going to have to do the costly bit, which is generate embeddings for them. Which, as long as they don't get rate limited by GitHub. But that's what's happening in the background. And this is I was saying why we want to make it a GitHub app. So sticking back to our homepage, while this is running in the background, still running, or is it? Yeah, still must be running. Wait a second. It's loading. This is next. This is the homepage. This is the one that's loading. It's still got lots to go. Right. I want to make this like a little button. I want to make it something. It should say something like, okay, what's some other examples? Renovate app, maybe. So Renovate has its own website, I think, which is just extremely simple. No, it's not. It's very complex. Okay, maybe autofix. Yeah, nice. This is the kind of thing that that I want. So it needs to have like a little install and GitHub button, and maybe some more details once we have a little bit more info. So we want to say what it does. Yeah, more batches being fetched. So our index page, we want to say something like onsite. Is this an H2? No, it's probably a paragraph, right? Onsite clusters issues by similarity across. For goodness sake, I need to learn Cyrillic, but nice to see you, Undertale. And hello again. Okay, so something like cluster issues by similarity across your across multiple repositories, and then we have like a button, which is actually a link, which will say install as a GitHub app, and then it will have some classes. So we want to pull that up there, and let's just style it. Oh, and ideally I'd like to see like what does GitHub, the GitHub button style look like? Maybe GitHub Marketplace. Yeah, okay. So looks to me like I'm gonna stick these two in the same page. There we go. It should look like background green, 600, 700. Rounded small looks like that's quite a big padding. Looks to be bold. Font semi-bold maybe. Medium. And now why is it going up? Okay, this we're going to make this a section. We're going to have a let's see, it's going to be a flex call, justify center, item center, and I think we need a slightly more rounded. That looks a bit more right. We need a little bit more padding, I think. A little bit more padding. That's looking good. We need a GitHub icon. So we're going to do span class is icon. Do we already have some? For stuff like this, I love icons. I think I might have a. I just need to do it. I'm gonna grab a GitHub logo, ideally from one that I already have installed. Do we have like Tabler? Does Tabler do a GitHub icon? Beautiful. Ooh, not quite right. What other I'm using Iconify, so I have RI. That would be better. That's more like it. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this, and that might not be my RI. What? It's difficult to track exactly what is what. Is that going to work? That's also going to need to be inline block, width 4, height 4, and it's obviously not radix icons, it's RI, so I'm hoping GitHub logo. Oh, for goodness sake, what is it? What is RI? Which one is RI? Remix icons, that's RI, right? Yeah. Okay, so what is its GitHub name? It's GitHub fill. Okay. There we go. And that's going to now need to be flex row, gap 2 maybe, item center. And this needs to be a little bit bigger, I think. So we'll make that 5, 6, 5. Feels right. Cool. So Then we want this section to be, yeah, sorry for fishy. Now something doesn't. Are you in Germany? Is that where you're based? Because this should be like ideal time for you, sort of just getting into the day. Right, so that feels right. We need to make this Italy. Okay. Oops. Flex grow. What is our homepage? We've got a footer. I think main needs to be full. What is? I feel like the footer. What do I want this to be? I think I don't want to see this on the home. I want to see it on the home page. Maybe wrap everything in a div. Okay. Say class min height screen. Yeah, Sean, exactly. We'll make this flex call. And we will say footer's needs some padding. Oh, it has some padding. I want it to look ideally. What do I want ideally? Ideally, I want it to be flex grow. And this, maybe give it a margin bottom. Oh, it's the margin top thing, which is margin bottom 4. Okay, that looks about right. Also, I think we want this page here. Hey, this is the side project. So you couldn't have asked a better moment to ask that question. Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, Fishy, you have totally got it. I may have mentioned this at both ones, I'm not quite sure. Am I coming down south? Are you to Newcastle? Good question. I don't. Do I have any plans? I don't. Oh, no, there is a conference. I need to put it in my diary. There's a conference I'm going to this coming year in Newcastle. So I do have a plan. I do have a plan to come down. Okay, so this, I want it to be a little bit more center. Drop this. What is going on here? Next page. Main also needs to be flex, I guess. And I do think, okay, now that's sort of, I think I can drop this. Now it's going to keep it centered, which isn't quite right necessarily. Live on Algora. I'm not going live on Algora today because there is an issue with, so yesterday I streamed and it produced so many different streams. It disconnected and reconnected so many times. I had to go through, I cleaned up, I deleted 41 streams. 41 separate streams appeared on the Algora page. And I'm on board with Algora. I think it's great. I'm totally going to use it again. But right now, I'm not, because I can't put anybody through that 41 separate reconnections. It's too bad. So I will return to Algora for sure, but not right now. Yeah. Okay. We'll make this text large. We'll give a bit of, I think what will we do? How will we do this? be a bit of margin. 8. And should this be broken? No, that looks awful. Autofix is what I'm looking at here as a nice example. It needs to be bigger, I think. It needs to be bigger than the homepage, so we'll make it extra large. Still not too big. That's fine. But we do need space, like vertical space. So I'm not sure it should be justify center. I think we should maybe handle this a little bit more manually. And obviously we have to handle this, you know, in mobile too. I don't know, do I have Sizzy installed? Yeah, I love Sizzy. It's great. If you've never used it, it is just phenomenal. Let me just show you what it looks like. So basically you get this kind of layout, and you can just very easily see. So I'm, oops, what did I do? For goodness sake, I did this. Look at this. I've got a monitor inside a monitor. That was no. I hear good things about Polypane too, but honestly, I just for me, often if I have something that works, I don't substitute something else. Like I'm very happy to keep using it, and this does work, and it works very well. I find. So here we go. So we can sort of move this to one side. We can see all of our layouts together, and even at a small resolution like this, it's still great, right? So can I make this bigger? Can I drag it? Cool. So I just want to check that, particularly that this layout, like the big layouts, they look awful. The small layouts, I think they're immediately highlighting. We probably want, for example, to center the text. And we probably want to give it a little bit of height, at least. Maybe we'll give it a proportion of the vertical height, something like, and I think we also might want to make it bigger on the bigger screens, the text. So text extra large is fine, and then on a bigger screen we'll do text 2XL, or maybe even 3X. 2XL seems fine. Make it bigger, and then we want and we also probably want to have some margin at the bottom, right? Margin bottom should be, is that not doing anything? Oh, because it's a flex. So we want a gap. We'll have a gap of 4, and then maybe a gap of 12, 8. Okay. So I'm going to brag here. I was so early to Sizzy that I got a lifetime deal. So I have a lifetime price for Sizzy, which is amazing. You can just, you know, envy me. Yeah, that changes things a lot. I feel bad for Ketzer, because I don't like. I mean, it's the kind of thing that I find is really useful, right? I don't want to take advantage of him, but okay, that is looking okay, right? So, yeah, cool. Okay, so now we actually have to implement this, right? So we have to actually make this do a thing. And I'll tell you a secret. I have never actually made a GitHub app like that allows anybody to install it. So I need to figure out how to do that. So if you're up for watching me learn how to make a GitHub app, and you can probably also tell me how to do it. So at the moment, yeah, so at the moment, okay, so how are we going to create a GitHub app? We need to register it. Yeah, I'm on board with that. This is going to act on its own behalf. Seems fine. It has webhooks. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so we're going to need to do a couple of things. I'm going to create a little to-do here in the project. So we're going to have our tasks for making it a GitHub app. So we're going to want first to create the keys and register GitHub app. Okay, then we need to subscribe to webhooks when issues are created, updated, deleted. Closed, I guess, most of the time. Then we want to, yeah, I think that, and then we want probably to create an initial task to index the repo when registered. Cool. And then we probably also want to invalidate, update the clustering for a repo when embeddings are updated. Okay, that seems right. Yeah, okay. So, cool. It's so nice, isn't it, to get a lifetime deal on something that is really good. Like it makes you like an advocate almost for it, because you feel like you're in. Which it's just nice. Okay, so yeah, so let's just create the GitHub app to start with. I'm going to create the demo, like the local app. So I'm not going to mind too much. So I'm going to create a GitHub app, and we're going to call this onsite dev. And it's going to be onsite.dev. We're going to have a callback URL, which will be something like, oh, this is going to be localhost. And it will be auth GitHub, I guess. And I don't think I need identity access to the user. And I don't think I need to do that. I do think we need to register a webhook, right? Or do I actually have to register the webhook here? Okay, so read-only access to issues. I think that's it. And metadata should be already included. Well, I guess I can probably go ahead and update this. I would like to see issues. I don't think yet issue comments. That might be a and I think for the moment I'm only going to allow it on my own account. And then I'm going to need a now I think with this URL it will be really difficult to test this unless I run ngrok or something like that to get a. I'll do that for now. I guess I can probably update it later. I'll just disable for the moment. Okay, so there we have a GitHub app. And we need to have our app ID, I guess. So I'll just pop that in. Echo next. Next, GitHub App ID is that. And, oh, interesting. Okay, so we need to have our GitHub, we have our app ID. And what else are we going to need? Our secret. Okay, so we're going to get a, okay, yes. So we actually want to do a little bit more webhooks, right? We do want to have an update when, ooh, do I not get a chance to change this? Oh yeah, permissions and events. So because we do also want to get an update maybe when the app is installed, right? Because that's when we want to trigger the installation. So I guess that's probably, okay, we have a public page. And it would look like that. Okay, now we need to do this, I think, before we do anything. Right, okay. So basically, the key thing I think that we have to create now is create a webhook. So we're going to create a webhook, which is going to be in, what do we say, auth, or we'll just say GitHub, or just GitHub webhook or something like that. So this is going to receive incoming GitHub webhook events. So app installation and issue creation, etc. So let's just confirm the events that are going to happen. So we're going to get, yeah, where are the events? Am I missing something? It says permissions and events. Where do I specify the webhook events? Should I have subscribed to more stuff when I was signing up? Let me just see. Never come across SME before. Cool. Oh, we should also check the on-site. Yeah, there we go. Cal.com is up and ready. So it's saying these are your clusters. VO, nice to see you again. I'm just going to push the allow access here so you can get this online if you want to test it out. It'll still need to do the same thing again in production in terms of indexing all of your issues. I don't know how reliable it is. Like at the moment, there's probably scope to improve the embedding creation. I had done quite a lot to make it work really well locally for me, but this is a different model, so it might not be quite so good. And also, it doesn't guarantee they're duplicate issues. They might just be in the same kind of space, the same kind of issue. So these, for example, this is all features about assignments, like smart assignment input. Look at that. Oh, they are the same. Hey, Fishy, go, enjoy, work well. And these are, I'm glad you're learning Vue. Okay, cool. So, Sean, see if any of that is useful. It might not be. Who can say? Oh, let's see if we're up yet. Yeah, this will have to do a lot of downloading, I think. This is just on Cloudflare. I'm hosting this on Nuxtab actually, because of stuff. So I have the I'm using the vectorized database. I'm using the Cloudflare models, AI models, and obviously I'm using the KV as well to store and cache all the data. So I like my loading screen. Look at that; it's shimmering very happily. But obviously, it's going to take a while. It might even conceivably fail. Because Cloudflare has a limit on how many API, like how many external requests you can make. Let's see if I can just hit it manually. So see what kind of a response we're getting. So right. While that happens, right. So we have our org permissions. Yeah, we don't need any more permissions. I'm going to go back and create a new GitHub app just so I can see. So there are all of these settings here. With the subscribe to event. So I think I do want to subscribe to these events, but I don't know why I can't select them here. Right? So I feel like these should be configurable. Oh, it must have read level access for the meta app permission. Okay. I don't know if I... Yes, okay, now that appears. Now that's very interesting because that was not obvious. That was not obvious. Okay, so we need to know this, and this probably. I'm going to make a little note to give some feedback to the GitHub team. Creating. Hello, Sandros. Nice to see you. Creating a GitHub app and then later looking to subscribe to events. Excuse me. Oh, my cat. I scared her. Sorry, everybody who was listening to that. It came too quickly for me to mute. Right. Okay, so this seems right. So installation target meta and repository, I want to know if it gets deleted, etc. Okay, and oh, but this is the new permissions. But this I think is the oh no. So okay, yeah. So I need to change the repository permissions to meta read only. Oh no, it doesn't display it. I thought it did. Okay, this is very strange. Okay, so if I update those permissions, actually that's not change. It already did have metadata permissions. Well, let that go. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if I just need to create a new app fully. Yeah, Rogara, do you know the answer to this? As in, did I just I should have created this? Because I fully expect that it should let me select events. I think I'm going to have to delete this app and create a new one because I need to have access to these things. Okay, so if I'm creating a new GitHub app, I'm going to call this onsite dev. I'm going to update the URL. The callback URL is going to be localhost 3000. Okay, after a user authorizes an installation. I'm not sure we need to do this because we're not authenticating users. This is happening because there are so many issues to index. I think it should eventually update. Okay, we need a webhook and we need to subscribe to events. So these events we definitely want. Repository permissions, we need meta, we also need issues. And we might also want to be able to add labels down the line. But for now we can be read-only. Right. And then, so I'll stick the webhook URL in, but I think we can change that later. But we'll say, if I run unton, or in Grok maybe. Okay, so I've fired up an ingrok app, which will be here. And so our webhook URL will be, what did we say? GitHub Webhook. Webhook. And I'll create just a random little secret. Oops. This. Great. I think this is going to be a better app. So I'll just delete this one. Oops, not that one. This one. And create a new one. Now if I go to events, I bet, look, I can now change them. But before, if I didn't create at least one in the beginning, I didn't even get this panel. So that is a pain. Okay, so now this looks better to me. So I've got my app. I do now actually have a different client ID. Now we have to figure out how to handle some of these things. So I need a to start. I'm going to log the body, get body, read body, event, and console log body, and then return null. So that's going to return a 204. To do we need to authenticate? Authenticate comes from GitHub. Now there's actually a Nuxt module to do this, which I've used before, and it's very, very nice. So if you search for this one, actually, where is it? I recently used, where did I use it? I think Carpenter. So I have Nuxt Webhook validators. That's it. So Nuxt Webhook validators allows you validating webhooks, basically. It's exactly what you need. And so we just need to configure this. So we need to specify that, I think it will be GitHub, and then there'll be some props. What did I set in Carpenter? Oh, maybe it didn't require configuration. So we might just need to set this. And the example of GitHub would be, it says look for it in the playground. Nuxt Webhook GitHub secret key. Cool. So I'll just specify that here. And this is our secret key. Cool. So that should enable us to validate the webhook, which is as straightforward as this. Cool. That's not bad, is it? That's quite a nice little thing. Oh, interesting. Haha. I feel there's an opportunity for a PR. We are going to make a PR to this file because It's not capitalized. It should be capitalized, mind you. But docs update with composable name. And we're going to say there we go. Cool. So this should work. It should log some stuff, and hopefully the tunnel that we created is going to work. So let's just try that that tunnel. So I had this URL. So if I hit it, what was it? GitHub Webhook Bob true. It should come back with this is not a valid webhook. So if I go then into here, what I would like is to be able to debug the webhook and just make sure that it's working properly. So if I install the app on my own repo, that should send a payload. And if I check, yep, the payload is received and also is validated. Ragura, I would really like to know what you think. Actually, I'm having a call today with the Kappa people. So if you have any feedback or thoughts on Kappa, I would really like to know that. And I guess the key question might be just asking people if they feel that Kappa has helped them, or if they feel it hasn't. So maybe that we create a poll on Discord and just ask people the question. Because it's difficult to know, of course, if you're sort of from afar. The other thing is if you are like Ragura, if you would like access to to rate like the responses, that's one of the most helpful things we can do, I think, is actually just having a look at the exchange and saying, because we can provide feedback to the bot. So like, this was a correct response, this was an incorrect response. Could be quite useful. Okay, so we're going to need to handle this created installation. Okay, so right, new installation. So if body action, oh, we're going to somehow have to type this. No, exactly, Ragura. You're right. Which is why I would probably post it in announcements and do like at everyone, just to see what it might be doing. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break and grab some tea, and then we're going to come back and do some more building of this GitHub app. So don't go anywhere. I will be back soon. I am back, and I have my cup of tea with me. Behold. Oh. I see, let's see. Sandros, I don't know enough to answer your question about integrating C12. And in a sense, I feel like maybe there's a way of somebody, Rogara, maybe if you're still there, maybe there's a way of somebody being able to like add a label, which is something like, you know, my question wasn't answered by this. Like, you know what I mean? Like it still needs a response. Okay, so basically we have a list of repositories. So so let's see, if body action is created, this is a new installation. We have a list of repositories in the form of there, and those are going to presumably, we then need to initialize indexing on each of these. So index each repository. And I feel like this might also be true if somebody updates the installation. So if I go back to here and I change it to just say this one, I should get an updated list, right? And this is going to be, oh, it's still added. Okay. But it now has a repositories added, repositories removed. Okay. So there's a removed and then there's an added. Interesting. So basically we have a new added. Then we basically have to handle body repositories removed and added. So, okay, so basically for goodness sake. And then we also have the removed. And this is the same, I guess, that we want to do for body repositories. This is just going to be everything, right? But it will be the same kind of behavior. Good. Okay, sorry, Rigor, you were saying the thumbs up. Okay, this is all very helpful. I'm going to come back to this in terms of the call with Kappa. No, it's very, very helpful. And it's worth saying that you were very helpful in your responses, and I really, really appreciate you being so helpful on Discord. So I'm just like copying your comments into a little doc so I can keep them in mind. Okay, so basically I think we have some initial things. So this is when and presumably we also get a similar thing when the when it's uninstalled entirely, right? So I think that probably will, oh, I've not done anything, right? So if I uninstalled it, then I will get now, I guess, an update which is like deleted. Okay. So, and it should have a, interesting, it has a list of repositories. Okay, so then we also have a list of repositories. Okay, so these are the sort of that we would basically have to unsubscribe from, like delete data from. I think in the yep. So this all seems like relatively straightforward things, because basically, even though it's duplicated somewhat, like we'll do the same thing, and I bet that the repo is the same format in each of these cases. So what else are we going to want to do? We'll also have issue creation, etc. That we'll want to handle. So, okay, so the key things that we're going to want to do to start with are somehow we need a list of like allowed repositories to get data from, I think. And we'll need to delete data. So the deletion is probably much more straightforward. So we'll have an async function delete repo, and we are going to basically call that here and here. And then we're going to have a function which is going to be like index repo, or add repo maybe. And we're going to call that here and here. Okay. Cool. And the only issue might be that we probably are not going to want to, we might not want to await it. We might want to do it in parallel. But anyway, that's the, and or we, like post event, we might not want to do it synchronously with a webhook. So, but either way, this is fine for now. Right. So when we're adding a repo, let's just log it for now, just to confirm that we know the format. And actually, I think probably we can get access to the actual types if we import OctoKit REST. We should be able to get something like, now is there an OctoKit webhook, I wonder? Yeah, this looks nice. Oh, beautiful. This is perfect. Thank you, GitHub. So we're just going to pull in OctoKit webhook schemas. And just import that's JSON. We actually only need the types. Okay, let's change this, sorry. Okay, so we want to pull in the webhook event. And so that's going to be interesting. What does webhook event have? Webhook event, and basically oh, I see, we have to, okay. So this is right. So we would basically do something like that and say if action in body, then we're going to pop this up here. Right. Well, that's interesting. I feel like it feels like that should be more specific somehow. Hey Woof, nice to see you. I should be able to narrow it by checking this, right? So this is why is it just a string? Like, I feel like obviously maybe there's some other thing. Body, what else can I narrow it down? So I think, is there some other thing that distinguishes a created event? So installation created event. So then I want to see the, maybe it's installation. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I need to narrow it down further, it looks like. So installation and what else has an installation? Installation deleted. Why is it a string? I need to somehow prevent this from being the thing. How do I avoid client payload? Maybe. Yes, okay. So that rules out the custom event. So at this point, we still need to confirm that perfect. Okay, this is starting to be a little bit more type safe. We'll do the same here. Beautiful. Okay. They should both be defined. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe we need to be a little bit more precise. Strict null checks is set to true by default in Next. So we should be good. So if you have a look in our TS config, we have strict null checks is set by strict, I believe. It is true if strict, so we're good. I mean, that's what enables this. Great. Okay, so we are. I think we're sort of type safely handling everything, and I think what we can do is say promises are going to be like an array of promises here, and we'll just push them like this. So. And then at the end, we're going to say event wait until promise all. There we go. So that means we get an immediate response, but also we also need to handle issue creation, etc. So this still needs to be there, but we do have the app installation now. And good. So now our add repo, we should be able to say the repo here that's being passed in needs to have these qualities, I guess. So interface type installation repo is that. And then these will take these things, and hopefully that is going to match. Cool. Okay, this feels solid. And I'm just going to confirm that that is in fact what we're getting. So if we do it again now and we add back the GitHub app, and again I'm going to do a selected one, we should now have exactly the thing that we want. Now, okay, so we have a full name, and that's probably what we're interested in. So in our indexing, we have our embeddings here, and we are pulling out the key, which we probably need to make into a separate thing. We save them here, storage key. So basically we need to be able to generate this key. So function, export function, storage key for issue. And so we should be able to do that. And so we should also be able at this point to do so at this point, we should be able to grab this. And so this is what we're going to want to get rid of. So we're going to say const keys equals storage prefix for repo, say owner name, and we'll say owner name. And this is going to, yeah, that's great. And so we're going to await use storage what is remove? Okay, for const key of keys. I'll just return promise all keys map. Oh, sorry. Keys would be storage list get keys, that, and then keys, and that should be a key to storage remove item key. Okay, so that will basically clear out the repo. Hey Samir, nice to see you. That's great. I'm so sorry. I'm so busy, but I will get back to you. Right. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And it's still nice to be busy. Okay, so in order to add the repository, we are basically just going to, I think, need to maybe add it to a list of valid. I'm trying to figure out whether we should have like a list of valid. I'm going to post again just to see if that is updated. We probably need to add it to a list. So we could have like a list of allowed repositories, which will allow us to early return. The other thing is we could fully rely on the APIs. Let's try and say, I feel like fully relying on the GitHub webhook is probably the way to go. So we probably don't need to like add or remove a name. We'll need to refactor the valid issues, and we'll also need to remove the thing about like fetching the issue list from GitHub. So at the moment we have this get list of issues. Whereas we shouldn't need that now. Like this now should be automatic because it's going to be coming in from the webhook. So instead, we're going to move all of this into this filter into the webhook. So we'll do something like async function index issue. And we're going to basically not do anything if ignore PRs and bot issues. And I think we probably want to, like the labels to exclude thing might be an interesting one later on. Like, do we want to exclude just checking something. Give me 1 sec and I'll be back. Okay, sorry, back. Where are we? Patrity, nice to see you again. Okay, so we are, which is another reminder, I need to get back to you. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we're indexing an issue, and it's going to come in basically via a webhook. So we want to see what, so we have some kind of issue, issues event. And what is that going to look like? It's going to be issue maybe, and it's okay. So if issue in body, what do we now know about body? Okay, great. So we have got the, we now know that the body is going to be one of these issue events, great. And so we're interested in updated, created, closed, deleted. Thank you. And so we should be able to tell, so body action, great. So if body action is created, we update our index issue, body issue. If body action is closed or body action is deleted, then we delete the issue. If body, and I guess I can do a switch maybe. Okay, we don't care about, we do care about edited. And I think that's just exactly the same as created. We else have opened, reopened. Reopened. And unlabeled, unlocked, unpinned. I don't think we care anything about those. Okay, I think closed and deleted we remove, otherwise we create, and I think that's the only thing we want to do with, and to remove it, it's much more straightforward. So we'd say the same async function remove issue, and then we do this. Hello, Barley. We would do body issue. And the issue at that point is going to look like issue. We don't care about the state. I think we just care about the issue. So it's going to be issue, which is coming from there. And I think the same here. So we have access. Yes. Yes, look, I'm totally going to have to, I can't pick you up. My back is not able to do that. Sorry people, I'm down here. I have to pet the cat for a moment. Right. Are people still around? There's this disturbing silence in the chat. So I want to check, am I still streaming? Yes. Okay, good. Yes. Good. Glad you're around. Okay, good. Yes. Good. Glad you're around. What am I doing? So I am, I need to index or remove the issue. Oh, for goodness sake. And that's also something that we would want when we add the repo, basically. We want to fetch issues and index all of them in batches to avoid hitting the Cloudflare rate limit. So okay, so we have our like fetch issues here, and we have the labels to exclude and known bots. I don't think we want to exclude fully those labels. I think we want to cluster them too, but I think we ideally would want that to be configurable like in the interface when you're viewing the issue. But the known bots we definitely want to. So say if issue dot user dot login, yeah. Or okay, if issue pull request return, otherwise index. I think that's it. Now indexing the issue is pretty straightforward. We just want to get embeddings for the issue. And this should be a matter of, yeah, that. So we're going to say now we need the event, it looks like. So and we're also going to need to pass that here. Okay, so we're going to get embeddings for the issue. Now, ooh, interesting. We need to update this so the issue is coming from Webhook types. And cool. I see. Interesting. Okay. This is lots of refactors. Okay. Yeah, we have to undo that for now. And what we want to do is have this thing handle, we want to maybe update this. So we'll call this index issue. And then we want to, in fact, this is the same, right? So we'll just pull those in there. And this issue is going to be webhook issue. And that is going to be imported okay. So then in here, we're going to have to handle all of this. So this is a bit messy at the moment. We're going to rearrange and move everything around. Okay, so the repository thing, interesting. So do I know the repository at this stage? Surely we do. We surely have some kind of body repository. Yeah, okay. So we can pass that in separately. And we'll take in repository. What is it? Okay. Interesting. So we'll just pull this out. So we know that this repository is there, but it's going to be okay. We need to handle chunking of the issue in a way that works with webhooks. So this also needs to be, now, is it possible that we don't have labels for the issue? We would have a list of labels, right? The dev experience of HubSpot. I'm sorry, is it not going well?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, well. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Okay, this is all good. This is all fine, right? The chunk issue thing is the one. So chunk issue needs to take a webhook issue, and get labels needs to accept a webhook issue, or rather, yeah, what we'll call it webhook issue. And then just default to empty array. And then we need to be able to why is that not working? Okay. So this is working fine now, but not the other one. It's fine, we're going to get rid of it. Yeah, David. The power of Restream. I don't actually use Twitter anymore, but I still like post to it via like Typefully and Restream, obviously, too. But honestly, if you're not on Blue Sky, it is so much better, and it is great for devs because it's totally programmable and with an open API. Just really nice. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this get embeddings for issues. Basically break our current setup. So that's going to index the issue. And we'll rename this to issue and drop that. Okay, so that's all fine, I think. Like, we can improve that, but it should be working. The remove issue should be the same. So storage is use storage. await storage move item, and then get storage key for issue. And then we pass in, what is it, owner repo number. No. Repository. We need the repository, I guess. Repo.owner.login, repo.name. Okay, that would be the remove issue. And that's going to need to take in the body repository as well. Yeah. Cool. And I think we can also get rid of this and put that into our embeddings file, because I think it's basically the same thing. As in it matches this. We then just import it here. Great. We don't need the storage key anymore. The storage prefix we do need. And now stuff is going much simpler again. Good. Okay. So we're now handling issue, creation, etc. Great. And we're handling repository. The only thing we, I think, still need is the add repo, which needs to batch and fetch all the issues. Samir, let me know how I can help if you have questions about Restream. So, Restream is not expensive, I think, compared to what you get for it. But I don't know exactly what level you're talking about. I think I have the very bottom level. Okay, what's going on? Anything happening with Cal? Yes. Okay. Basically, I think we should now be able to do to pull up Cal. I think it's fully indexed. Yes. Okay, Sean, if you were waiting for it, Cal is ready to go. So you can have a look at your clustered issues and see what you make of it, whether it's helpful or not. Okay, so we basically have that's now done. And we just need to handle this. So yeah, use storage should be hub KV. Is hub KV different? Okay, let's change it to hub KV. It is a question to me why we are using hub KV at all when I think use storage is basic, like it is just the same as use storage, right? But pre-configured for Cloudflare. But I think the pre-configuration of pointing it to Cloudflare should basically be done by the module, and then you shouldn't need to write different code for it. You shouldn't need to have like a Cloudflare specific bit in your code if you don't absolutely have to. Oh, right, that's why. So where are we using this? Okay, so we're working on, oh, and now we don't need the event. I wonder why I passed it in the first place. So we dropped the event out. We just need the owner repo number. Why? Okay, why are we using the event here? Generating the embedding. Why do we need the event there? We don't. Okay. I think this is maybe because we're using runtime config. So now that means we don't need the event at all. So we should just be able to handle it like this. Okay. We're working on this thing. So unsite.dev. Is this the local? No. Unsite.dev is a tool for maintainers that lets you cluster issues on your repositories to detect duplicates or spot areas that you need to have a look at. So it's I've been finding it really, really useful for my own purposes, and I want to get it set up as a GitHub app so that other people can benefit from it as well. So we're just moving this, porting this into GitHub. And ideally what you'd be able to do is not just, so you see here, we're pulling in Nuxt, we're also pulling in Nitro because that's a related thing. So you might find that we have a nice way of letting you spot similar issues across other repositories that aren't yours, but that maybe you're reliant on in some kind of way. So maybe if there's an issue that affects you, we could help you find it. So for example, this morning, this issue appeared on Nuxt. A crucial issue. This one, new Nuxt project won't start. Now, this is the error, and the issue is that this package, which is a dependency of Nuxt, comes in via Vue, and Vue's dependency on Babel, but basically they missed a dist file, and so there was an issue that was raised up here, and now it would have been great because there's nothing to do with Nuxt, but it would have been great if this had somehow been surfaced. But it's nothing to do with Nuxt, but it's one of our dependencies. So if you could search, for example, the issues of all of your dependencies, it would be very handy. So, yep, it's resolved. There's a workaround. It's not fully resolved yet, but you see, in all of the projects that use anything reliant on it, this is now a failure. So. Anyway, that's what we're working on. And so we're gradually converting this thing from a pull-based app where when you visit the URL, it fetches all the issues, indexes them, to a push-based. So it's a GitHub app where a webhook triggers indexing of the issue whenever the issue is changed. Okay. Now we're going to drop this. Oh no, we need to do something with this in order to grab the new issues initially. So So, oh, I have some blueberries. They are delicious. But they are the same size as paper Noten. Okay, what is it complaining about? Oh, yeah, this doesn't exist anymore. Or does it not? Oh, I renamed it, I think, to this. Did I? No. Yeah, I renamed it. Okay, of course, because we're not doing that anymore. Okay, yeah, we'll need to update this too. Paper Noten. What? How did I pronounce it? Paper Noten? How do you pronounce it, Raga? Okay, well, thank you. That's very kind. Okay, I've basically broken the whole project. It won't work at the moment because nothing is pulling in. So I just need to just sort of carry on. This isn't a complex thing to do, but we will we'll pull that out and pull that out, I think, just to break things a little bit more. So, and we'll rename this to issue. Delete it. Okay. So, okay, so we have our incoming webhook, which is still, this is working fine, right? It's doing what it's meant to do, but this is the thing we need to do next. So we basically need to paginate in issues, and we need to index them. Now, I somehow feel like we might be able to handle this within the, as in, I don't think we need the GitHub token. I think we'll actually be able to get a token somehow from the webhook. I hope. So let's just see if we can do that. But while we're at it, so we need to have our OctoKit. We need to be able to grab the issues. So okay, we're gonna have to get them this way. Okay, so that's going to grab everything, which is obviously not exactly enough. Hey, Ballant, nice to see you. Okay, so right. Okay, let's see. First of all, is there a way we can get access to a GitHub token in here, or create a token from the app? Right. Okay, so that's what we want to be able to do. We have a GitHub app, and token. Okay, right. So this is what we want to do. We want to generate the token, and grab the Yes, I think, Sandros, you can have the plugin typed correctly. And H3, you can make them recognized by VS Code with like a line in your Next config. So I think you would be able to do something like this. Imports do we want? Does no. Imports. Maybe presets. Don't know if there's an H3 preset. No. We'll do imports and would say from H3 name H3 event type true. And if we did this, then I'm pretty sure that we should be able to drop that. And it just works now. This is now still typed. So there you go. That is how to do it, Ballant. Cool. Right, what is next? Okay, we've got our app, our index page. It needs to link to install it on GitHub, which would basically be something like I don't know if anyone is good at creating like icons, but at the moment I've just stuck a little terrible icon in there. If you can think of a better icon, I will totally use it. Otherwise I'm gonna have to do it like some AI creation. There was actually no point in having the server running because it's definitely not working. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's just reproduce the current behavior at the moment. So we have our webhook coming in. We have the REST API coming in from the OctoKit. We are creating the issues, and then say for const issue of issues, we're going to index the issue, and I'm going to say or issue or REST issue maybe. And let's just have a look at what we had before. Our previous issue was this. Okay, and so basically we're accepting either. Pull this out into embeddings. And we're using it here as well. So until we finish everything. Okay, so basically we are indexing the issue. Installation repo is coming from we can always rearrange these things, right? So at the moment, just having these, just going through. Interesting. Oh, I see. Huh. I think we probably just need to normalize that. So we need to say owner and that is all we care about. Like we just care about the owner and the name. So here we just want to have that pattern. So the reason it's complaining about hub vectorize, by the way, is this is not typed unless we're running remotely, which is a bit weird, but okay. As in, I think NuxHub should change that. Okay, so basically we now have an embeddings file which is doing its job correctly. So like this is right. We have some storage key for issues. Okay, that doesn't need to be exported. Do we need REST issue anywhere else? No, thankfully not. Storage prefix for repo is being used in the webhook. Ideally, we wouldn't do that. Get stored embeddings for issue. That is probably what we want. That is what we need. Remove issue, fine. Index issue, fine. And then get labels, I think we're still using in issues, but we don't need that anymore. So this issues should be deletable now. Okay, so what we have instead is we're getting all the issues and then we're indexing them. And ideally, we index them as we fetch them. So somehow, and we ideally have a cursor so we can track the, oh, I think I have a call in 3 minutes. Okay, good thing I remembered. I am going to maybe do a little bit more coding on this, maybe a bit more streaming later today. But for now, thank you for joining me. It has been a lot of fun, as it always is. And let's see if I can find anyone else, as it always is. Go. And let's see if I can find anyone else. Well, nobody else is streaming. Obviously, we're too early in the day. Obviously, we're too Twitch recommend anything else in the day. Follow me. Don't. Anything anybody else recommends? I'll give you 5 seconds. If not, I can't, I'm afraid, send everybody to a French channel. That might be a little bit, too much. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. And